Kanyon production.
Hey, have you ever wanted to wear some stylish clothes while expressing your faith? Are you someone who thinks about your whole purpose being here? Or maybe you just want to encourage people to keep going? Well, if you said yes to any of those, then we have the solution. Call to Purpose is a small Christian clothing brand that values and prioritizes the idea that God has a purpose for each and every one of us. So we allow you to look good, dress nice, while expressing your faith and pursuing God's purpose for your life. So you don't have to struggle to look around to find good Christian apparel anymore. We have what you need. So go follow the Instagram account Call to Purpose to see not only the website of our apparel, but to be gifted with constant motivational posts to keep you going through your day. That's CalToPurpose with an underscore at the end. What is up, you guys? Welcome back. Yes, welcome back to another podcast episode. I'm your favorite host and the leader of KanyonKeys. I hope you guys have had a wonderful start to your year. It's the new year of 2025. I know it's later in the year, but I thank you guys for coming back out. I thank you guys for showing support. Thank you guys for showing love. And I hope you guys have stuff set in place. I hope you guys have some goals set in place for the start of the year. I hope you guys have some other aspirations or any dreams or visions that you want to do this year. I hope you accomplish everything that you put your mind to, okay? I'm not going to ramble too much. I wanted to do a podcast episode earlier on, but I had some things that I had to take care of, so I had to kind of put it off. But we're here now. And not only are we here, but I told you guys that we will be having some guests on the podcast. So just stay in tune for that. Keep an eye out. If you're not following the socials, make sure you follow me on the K3 Initiative _ on Instagram. Make sure you follow the YouTube channel KanyonKeys, and make sure you subscribe, follow, check in, turn the bell notification on to wherever you're listening to your podcast on, whether it's Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever it is. I need you to make sure that you turn those bell notifications on, okay? But hey, man, like I said, I hope you guys are doing well. The past couple of weeks have been NFL playoffs, and mind you, somewhat of what we're talking about today can kind of correlate to what's been going on for those that are into sports. We're 1 week away from the Super Bowl, and there's a whole bunch of comments and a whole bunch of arguments and debates on who's doing better, who's performing better, and all of those things. And some people are taking it with grace, some people are taking it with a grain of salt, and other people are kind of taking it in a way to where they're thinking everybody's treating everybody harshly and everybody's treating people like nothing matters and people are trying to blame others and all of that stuff. But this is a perfect time to come out with this episode specifically on the topic of environments. Now, some people may ask, well, what does environments have to do with being a musician or being a musical creative or being a songwriter or anything like that? It has a lot. It has a lot to do with it. Um, I was talking with someone recently about a whole bunch of expectations that I had specifically for them, and it wasn't more so of me just barking orders at them or me just trying to tell them what to do or me just treating them bad because they weren't meeting where I believed that they should be. But it was more so from a place of me saying, because of me having high expectations for you, I'm expecting you to do a whole bunch of things that other people wouldn't do. Um, I'm expecting you to do a whole bunch of things that goes out of the way of your comfort zone. For those that were watching the NFL playoffs, I'm not gonna turn this into a sports podcast, but um, there was a specific player by the name of Lamar Jackson, and there were some specific plays that people kind of said was iffy, and people blamed him on certain plays and things that he did during the game, which ultimately ended them losing. And there was a specific player on the team that dropped a pass that could have put them in the lead, tied them up. It was a whole bunch of things that could have been done better. And I was telling a friend, I said, well, when you're someone that has somewhat the face of the league, when you're a player that has so much of a high regard towards, um, when people look at you in a certain light and they see all the talent that you have, 9 times out of 10, people are going to hold you to a greater standard than they would of everybody else. And some people may not say it's fair. Some people may not say um, it should be like that. Some people may say that shouldn't be the standard. But this is my opinion. In those certain situations, you got to understand when you have a great talent like that and when you have great experience like that, it's your responsibility to be held to a higher standard than others because of so much that you're bringing to the table. Okay. And that's where we're going with the musicians. Okay. That's where we're going with the music creatives. That's what we're talking about in today's podcast. All right. Um, I know a lot of times, I know a whole bunch of musician friends. Um, some musicians that are professionals, some that take their craft very seriously, some musicians that treat their gift with a sincere and genuine passion. And I have other people that have a lot of potential, but they don't treat it as serious. I have a lot of people that know a lot of things, but they don't treat it as something serious. And, they just kind of neglect it. They become negligent. They really don't treat it as something that they're really focused on. And then, of course, you have those people that just really not in the loop. Um, they don't do much. They're not even really experienced, and they don't even really care to try to become experienced. And some people may ask, well, what is the point of bringing up all of the groups that I just mentioned? Um, I like to hold people, especially when I know what you're capable of and I know what you have the potential to do and what you have the potential to be. Um, I hold people to a high standard because I expect greatness out of them. And the best thing that you can do as a musician, the best thing that you can do as a creative, the best thing that you can do as a music artist, whatever you are, if you're a singer, if you're a musician, if you're a sound engineer, um, you want to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people that want to see you be great. Okay, you want to make sure you're surrounding yourself with people that want to see you succeed. You want to make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who expect more from you. I remember somebody told me, you really hang around what you're trying to be like. And he was telling me that I forgot what specifically was the circumstance that was going on, but it was getting at the point of if I wanted to be somewhere, if I had a goal and a dream to achieve something, if I had a specific desire to reach a place that I had never been before, I had to surround myself with not only the people that have been there and not only the people who have already succeeded in that area, but I should be surrounding myself with people who want to see me do better. You know, just in life general, it's easy to kind of just surround yourself with people that you're cool with, surround yourself with your peers, and surrounding yourself with many different people that are cool with you where you are. But sometimes the case is that they're not pushing you to do more than what you're doing. And it's easy for us to get complacent and comfortable with where we're at and then kind of take it with an attitude when someone tries to call us out on what we're doing wrong, or if we're doing things the wrong way, or if we're not disciplined in certain ways. Like, it's easy for a person to get an attitude, and it's easy for a person to get like aggravated when people try to tell them that they're wrong, or they need to improve in this area, or they need to fix this up, they need to adjust this, how they handle this, and do all of these different things. And mind you, I mean, sometimes people are just going to critique because that's what people do. People always have a say on what they want to do. People always have a say on how they think you should handle things when they don't have no success themselves. But we have to be mindful and take into consideration when you have certain individuals in your circle that wants to see you succeed, that you don't push them away to the point it's like, I don't want anything to do with you. We don't want to push those specific people and individuals away because we feel as though it's more of an attack instead of a constructive criticism or a piece of advice that we should take in order for us to get over the hump that we're going on. You know, I was listening to a video that Deion Sanders did, and he was speaking on somewhat of a Lamar Jackson situation, and he said, you know, a lot of times it's easy to get mad at the messenger to the point to where we're not willing to accept the message. And that's very true. It's easy for us to kind of get into our egos and get into our pride. Because, like, imagine somebody's trying to tell you you're doing stuff wrong. You know, like, imagine people are trying to tell you you need to be corrected in this area. Imagine people are trying to tell you that there's some things that you're not doing right that you need to fix, or that you need to adjust, or that you need to take the time out to be disciplined in. You know, like, a lot of us don't want to hear that. We already have people that's constantly critiquing when they don't even know all the work that you have to put into it. But at the same time, people don't understand that in those circumstances, there's some people that are genuinely trying to help you out. There's sometimes where people are genuinely trying to help you go past where you are right now. And when we put our pride in the forefront, and we got our egos in the forefront, we feel as though nobody can tell us what we're doing wrong. You know, we feel as though nobody can correct us or tell us that we need to do better. You know, like, we feel like we're the best thing since peanut butter and jelly, or we feel as though nobody has the ability to correct us on what we're doing because of where we are. And not only is that a bad place to be, but it's definitely a place that could stunt your growth. Okay. It's definitely a place, and I could somewhat say that from experience. It's a place to where you'll stop your own personal growth because of personal feelings on how you feel towards a certain message or a certain thing that was described to try to help you do better. And the best thing for us to do is to put aside the pride, put aside the attitude, put aside the ego, because this definitely is an ego-filled business, ego-filled industry. Everything involving music, everything has to do with ego. But once you put your ego to the side, that's where you can really grow. That's where you can really flourish. That's where you can really do better for yourself. I've never met a great musician that didn't have someone that could call them out for something that they did. I don't. I know a lot of musicians, and all of the ones that are great, I don't know many that can get called out by someone specifically and then just take it on the chin and say, okay, I need to do better in this. Like, I know some arrogant musicians, and I'm definitely going to do an episode on that, about arrogance. But I know a lot of musicians that have specific people, specific mentors, specific teachers, that if they say something and tell them, yeah, you got to adjust this, or you just need to fix how you're approaching this, or if you're playing this for like piano players, if you're approaching how you play on this song, maybe you should come off more delicate, not trying to fill the song up with all of these reharm chords and making the song extra busy. Or if you're following a vocalist and you shouldn't be shedding, but you're more so accompanying the vocalist. Or if you're a drummer, you got famous drummers chopping and everything like that, but then they're like, yo, you need to be more focused on actually playing the drums and playing the groove and playing the beat rather than trying to do chops every 5 seconds. Um, Trying to do all of these different complicated rudiments and fills every 5 seconds of the song. He was like, hey, sometimes you gotta calm it down. Like you gotta relax. Guitar players, bass players, you trying to do all of this during the song, you gotta relax. And it's those things to where it will definitely humble us, but it will put us in a place to where we're willing to accept criticism, and we're willing to try to improve what they spoke on. Like there's a time when I first really started getting into playing keys, and I started getting like seriously acclimated with piano playing. I didn't know theory. I didn't know all of my keys. I didn't know how to play in every single key. I didn't know all the names of the keys. I didn't know all my skills. I didn't know all of that stuff. And I was at the time just playing by ear. So me playing by ear, I said, okay, well, playing by ear, trying to work things out, it's pretty cool. Like I know what to do. And it was a point in time to where I was playing for a little Bible study, I think. And at the end of the Bible study, I think either that night or the next day. Yeah, it was either that night, the next day, or later on, a couple days later. But somebody spoke to me, and I had a conversation with somebody that was like a confidant, someone that I could rely on, someone that I could like personally just like ask for advice and all of that. And he said, yeah, man, they said you played terrible. My heart sank. Like, imagine someone telling you, like, yeah, you played trash, bro. Like, bro, your chords wasn't hitting, bro. Your chops was not solid, bro. You were not in the pocket, bro. Like, you sucked, bro. Like, imagine that when you're like literally just starting out and like you don't even have your confidence all the way up, man. And it hurt. I'm gonna be honest, that thing hurt. Like, y'all must not know. Like, for all of my musician friends out there getting told something like everybody didn't start out as prodigies. Everybody didn't start out playing like Corey Henry the moment they came out the womb. No, there was some nasty stuff that we was doing. And sometimes people could tell what you were doing wasn't right. And they were just like, nah, bro, that's not it. That's not it at all. And he said, he was like, yeah, man, you played terrible. I said, dag, man. And that thing hurt. But the thing was, it was that vital moment to where not only that person, but another individual spoke with me about things that I could do to help me become better, things that I could do that would contribute to me playing better, me sounding better, me doing a whole lot of things more smoother, songs that I would end up having to play, um, all of these other things that I would end up having to do while playing. And I'd probably say maybe like only a month or two had passed. And then it was like, oh yeah, you good. It went from you played terrible to like maybe in a month's time, either a month's time or 2 months' time, they were saying, okay, yeah, you sound pretty solid. And from that point in time to where it was a constant and consistent growth process, because every time I encountered some musician that I knew that I had a relationship with, every time I came across a better keyboard player, better piano player, better organ player, better drummer, I would ask them, I'm like, yo, what are some things that I could do to adjust this? What are some things that I can do to fix this up? I'm not asking them for opportunities. I'm not sitting here asking them for the next gig that I can play. No, I'm genuinely asking, what are some things that you think that would help me be better? Because I knew that those individuals not only looked at me in a high regard, but a lot of them wanted what was best for me. And I'm not saying that as in nobody else did, but in a musician stance, they knew what I needed to do in order to get over that beginner stage. They knew what I needed to do in order to jump over that intermediate stage. They knew what I needed to do in order to get past that. Oh, yeah, well, there's a creativity block in the road, or there's like something that's stopping me from getting past this, or every time I do this, there's a mistake here. Like they always knew something that was going to help advance me. So it's very necessary. It's definitely necessary for us to have good environments. I know a lot of us are on social media. Um, Spend time out with people that you know that are better than you, that you know are going to pour into you, man. Like, don't just hang around people that's always saying you're always killing. Don't hang around people that's always telling you like you're the best thing out there. The people that's always telling you about how good you are, how well you do things, and it's never like anything that needs to be fixed or anything to be addressed or anything that needs to be fine tuned or tightened up, It's those high expectations of others that help us be better because now it puts a chip on our shoulder. It literally puts us in a position to where you're responsible for overcoming this hump. And of course, many people will say certain things, but when you have those groups, when you have those environments, when you have brothers that'll hold you accountable when you're doing wrong, when you have groups of friends that'll tell you, hey, man, you need to work on this. I heard how you were playing and you need to fix this up. When you have friends like that, when you have family that's musically inclined, I'm not saying family can't do it, but there's specific family like that's musically inclined that'll be able to tell you and know when something's messed up. But when you have people like that, when you have circles of musicians and individuals that can help you adjust what you need to adjust and fix up what you need to fix up, things become way smoother. Things allow you to grow as well as helping them as well because it kind of goes both ways. But it'll definitely help you in the long run. So, mind you, it's 2025. The end of January is soon, like literally the end of the week. Um, it's 1 month out of 12. What goals have you put in place for you to make sure all of these things are together? What goals did you give yourself this year? What expectations did you give yourself this year? Because a lot of times we can easily just settle for less and settle for the bare minimum. And that's not hurting anybody but ourselves. And actually, that is hurting everybody else. That's hurting the people that you can impact with your gift. If you're a singer and you're deciding not to improve singing, or you're too arrogant of a singer that you're not willing to surround yourself with people that's better than you and that's willing to tell you, yeah, you got to fix this up, you won't be able to mature your gift and fine tune everything that needs to be fine tuned and miss out on people that want to be blessed by your gift. Or you're a musician and you're focused on what you're doing. You only know how to play praise breaks, but don't know how to do anything else. There's literally people out there that's like looking for people like you that can bless them with them gift. But the thing is, if you don't have yourself surrounded in a healthy circle that'll help you become better, you're not surrounded in a healthy circle, in a healthy group that can motivate you and push you to do greater than what you're doing, I promise you, you'll be hurting yourself, but you'll be doing a disservice to the world and the people that you're around as well. So keep that in mind, man. keep that in mind. Hold that to heart. The things that you don't agree with, take with a grain of salt. But I definitely want all of us musicians to succeed, all of us music creatives to do things in excellence. I want us to be great. And yeah, man, catch me next time on the next episode. Next episode, we may have a guest, but definitely stay tuned. Remember to share this with somebody, like it, heart it. Make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe. Do whatever you got to do to make sure you're on the KanyonKeys podcast. All right, peace.